Here are the steps you need to follow. If you're trying to boost Amazon sales using Instagram, step number one, you need to tell a story. Boss, see, the whole thing here is that you need to understand that Instagram, first and foremost, is a visual platform. So if you are posting low quality pictures and videos on your page, people are going to be less interested in what you have to offer, right? So you need to tell a story. You need to actually tell a compelling story, actually captivating your audience, so on by through visuals, through content that is constantly renewed, right? You want to make sure that you are using a good camera to take pictures and record your videos. So when we talk about boosting your Amazon sales, you need to make sure that you take good product photos and videos of your products, of course. And learning the basic of photo and video editing can be helpful. But if you don't have time, boss, you can just outsource the whole thing. Okay, consider hire someone to help you curate content that looks impeccable and stands out. This is really important. So when we talk about Instagram and its relationships to your Amazon sales, your Amazon store rankings here, there is no better platform to drive social proof. And we have been studying this for many, many years. There is no better platform. Instagram is the best platform to build trust with your potential customers because of its highly visual nature. To begin with, humans are visual creatures, right? We are all visual creatures when you think about it. And we build trust based on what we can see. So when you create a narrative around your Instagram content that shows how much other people trust and enjoy your products and find them useful, potential customers will start to trust you. They'll start to trust you too. And that's what you want anyway. And you can parlay that positive feeling, that goodwill that you have built on Instagram. You can parlay that into Amazon to boost your Amazon store sales. And that's what you want anyway. Okay. So don't actually take it very lightly here. We are visual creatures. We love to see things. And by visual, I'm talking about pictures and videos. Okay. So you want to actually mix those two content pieces, content categories, so you can capture your audience a lot more. So first step, if you want to boost your Amazon sales using Instagram, you need to tell a story. Boss, very important. Tell a story. Step number two, you want to establish partnerships with influencers. Very quintessential too. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We're having a little convo, a little chit chat, a little fireside chat about how to increase your Amazon sales using Instagram. So what are we talking about here? We're speaking about influencers who really matter. See, the whole thing is nowadays people talk about influencers. Everybody is now an influencer. I have 10,000 followers. I'm an influencer. I have 15,000 followers. I'm an influencer. I have whatever. What you want to do here is that you want to determine your niche. So you look at your Amazon store and what kind of niche you're in, what kind of target audience you are trying to pursue. And you want to find an influencer, someone who doesn't have like 100K followers necessarily, or 1 million followers necessarily, but somebody who has a representative audience. It can be 50K. But most importantly, and that's the mistake that a lot of people make, a lot of Amazon sellers make when they are trying to when they're trying to use Instagram as a marketing platform. When you reach out to an influencer, don't look at the number of followers. You want to look at the engagement. When they actually post the content, how receptive are their followers? Are they engaged? Because that's what you want. You do not want to talk to an influencer, quote unquote influencer, whose followers are lethargic, who are inexistent. I mean, somebody has 1 million followers, but whenever they post when they post content, only 5,000 respond. That's the delta here is too big. So please reach out to that. Okay, you want to choose the right influencers. You want to choose influencers who have valuable Instagram followings you can actually tap into. Okay, the key is to work with influencers who have an authentic voice relevant to your brand and products, as well as having proven engagement rates. I want to repeat that. Engagement is key. So if a person has a large following, but not a lot of engagement on their post, there's a good chance you will not see significant returns on your investment. So you'll be losing money, you'll be just wasting money. And the last thing that will happen here is that you will be pissed that your Amazon/Instagram strategy is not really working because you're not seeing any sort of traffic coming from Instagram onto your Amazon store. Step number 3, you want to make full use of Instagram stories. So on Instagram, there is something really, really wonderful. It's called Instagram stories. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're talking about how to boost Amazon sales using Instagram. So the thing is that because Instagram stories occupy such a valuable real estate on the app, you must be able to take full advantage of those stories, okay, to market your products to Instagram users. And again, here we are going back to what I said earlier, creativity. We are all visual creatures, so you need to be creative. And you need to be creative in the sense that you need to think of ways to showcase how your product is used or the problem is solved through stories. We're going back to what I said, tell a story. Storytelling is really important. Okay, so you want to watch trends closely to see what your competition is doing with stories and what other e-commerce brands are doing to fully capitalize on the feature and copy the best stuff you see. I'm not saying just copy like copy and paste, but you can copy and start your own trend, your own version of it, right? I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel because you'll be wasting a lot of time. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Your job is to just make sure that you see that you see the best practices that others are doing and trying to do better. Okay, and this is really important. And so the countdown feature in stories is particularly effective to create urgency around your product and do a little bit of scarcity marketing. Okay, because the bottom line is you're not doing all these things for free. You're not doing all this because you wanted to engage in a charitable initiative. No, you are doing this because you want to increase your Amazon store sales, right? That's the bottom line. That's the ultimate reward here. So the goal is to actually drive traffic from Instagram onto Amazon so you can boost those store sales. So this is really important to actually think about maybe scarcity marketing. And so scarcity marketing works very well when launching a new product or having a limited inventory on hand to sell. Okay, and leveraging giveaways through stories and promotional partnerships is another great way to collect information from your customer base and drive new interest for your entire product line. And this is what we say. Just make sure that when people come to Amazon, everything on Amazon also is really clear, because I've been talking to you about what you have to do on Instagram. That makes sense. But if you have a crappy Amazon store description, if you have product description, Amazon store layout, things are not really clear, you could do the best job on Instagram, but when people come to Amazon, you don't have a conversion. You don't have a notable conversion there because they're not buying, because the way your store is set up is not convincing enough. So just make sure that you actually take care of both sides of the equation. Very important. Number 4, you want to always engage with your followers. This harks back to what I said earlier in terms of if you reach out to an influencer and the influencer doesn't have an engaged following, then this is really bad, right? So I'm actually applying the same advice to you. That basically you have to really understand, if you have followers and you do not engage with them, you don't respond to comments, you don't actually thank them, you don't do anything, you don't like their comments, and so on and so forth, you're not going to grow your base on Instagram, and by way of consequence, you're not going to see anything potent in terms of sales coming from Instagram into your Amazon store. So the bottom line here is that, I'm not saying you have to connect with your followers personally, but you need to be there. They need to see that you are there. They need to see that you care. They need to see that you really care about what they say, how they say it. Things like liking, things like loving, putting a little heart. Those things go a long way in terms of making a specific viewer, a specific follower feel special. Okay, and there's nothing better, nothing more powerful than a follower, an Instagram follower who feels blessed, who feels loved. Okay, and so you need to engage. You need to always engage with your followers on Instagram when the opportunity presents itself. It's only half the battle on social media to create and post content. The other half of the fight is to stay engaged with people who show interest in what you're offering. It takes some effort, but when you continually engage with your followers, they are no longer just followers. They become your community. This is very important. And people in your community are more likely to become loyal, long-term customers than those who don't feel they have any emotional attachment to your brand. This is important. So engaging with your followers and getting to know what makes them tick to create content that caters to what they enjoy is how you build those emotional attachment in the long run. And you also want to encourage engagement. So make sure you are encouraging people to engage with your post. Instagram posts indeed receive more engagements than other types of social media posts, but that doesn't mean that there is it's just that easy. You have to constantly motivate people. You have to constantly be there and tell them, listen, I love engagement. Invite people to comment and ask questions in your captions that encourage responses. You might want to try running giveaways too, okay, and include liking and commenting on photos in the entry requirements. Step number 5, you want to use on-image shopping features to your advantage. And the cool thing is that you have on-image shopping features that are just great. I mean, they were released not long ago in terms of Instagram. They are just fantastic. We love them. And by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to boost Amazon sales using Instagram. So one thing you need to understand is that the on-image shopping is a powerful feature, really powerful. And this is something that Instagram has evolved to add over the years, okay? They are constantly adding numbers of features that make shopping easy for their users, okay? And the most valuable part is product tagging. So basically, this is a feature that allows you to add information tags directly to product images you share on the platform. Think about that. That's just wonderful. Like basically you would be sharing a pair of sneakers on the platform, and you can actually product tag that pair of sneakers by actually referring to the sort of tags you want to show to Instagram users. So what will happen here is that when people tap those images, they can learn more about the products you are promoting and even make a purchase right then and there if they are ready. So in addition, if a product is performing particularly well, there is also an opportunity here, and this is wonderful, to create an ad for that product using product tagging. Okay, so this ads, what we have seen in our research is that this ads will naturally earn greater reach than the content you share organically and give you a great opportunity at additional sales along the way. So this is really good. And so the new shop tab on Instagram's home screen is another cool feature that allows you to actually expand the visibility of your Amazon store. Okay, this app area, I'm talking about the shop tab, allows people who are browsing to grab something new. Okay, it really gives them the opportunity to check out several options for all types of e-commerce sellers. So at the end of the day, it's all about flexibility. It's all about convenience. It's all about diversity. It's all about really affordability too, because there has to be some elements of affordability in it. But yeah, so Instagram is just making things a lot easier for users over the years to actually grab what they're looking for, to buy stuff, to actually improve their overall lives. That's what we love about Instagram. They are adding value to people's lives. Fantastic. Number 6, you need to show some personality. Oh yeah, if you're trying to really differentiate yourself on the platform and you want to boost Amazon sales using Instagram, you need to show some personality. This harks back to the story I said earlier about telling a story. So if we align ourselves with the storytelling requirement, showing personality is going to be fantastic too, right? And that's what you want. You want folks to actually relate to you, not just to your product. I mean, obviously, yeah, you're there to actually sell your Amazon store sales to Amazon store items. Okay, I get that. Okay. But by showing your personality, you are not only creating a community, you are allowing people to connect with you. That's what we care about. We care about connecting with you. Folks can connect with you. They know exactly what's happening. Okay, that's really important. And remember, people who connect with you are more likely to actually buy stuff from you, if you really think about it, because we're all emotional creatures. So people are going to be more inclined to make purchases from your store if they can get a sense of your personality and company culture. So when you are writing the captions for your post, make sure you are using language and a tone that fits with the impression you want people to have of your business. Okay, whether it's fun and playful or serious and professional, make sure your personality or some personality in general shines through. Remember, a picture might be worth 1,000 words, but the words you use still matter. Okay, really important. You need to actually be in a situation where you are constantly actually describing your business and giving more information about it. So pictures are not the only way to go while promoting your products, your Amazon products. You must make use of videos as well. So videos play an important role when it comes to showing some personality. Again, remember, you are trying to increase Amazon sales using Instagram. So you already have videos on Amazon, but if you want to actually up the ante, you want to increase visibility, you want to increase the exposure of your Instagram profile, with the consequence that you want to actually reroute traffic, let alone from Instagram to Amazon, you need to actually use the best realities, the best elements. So for example, you have Instagram Reels. So Instagram Reels come into play with their compelling new feature known as shopping in Reels. Okay, so it makes things very convenient for sellers and viewers alike by allowing sellers to tag their Amazon products in their Reels. So think about it, that's just wonderful. So potential customers can view the products, click on it to learn more about it, save it to buy later, or purchase it right away. And this is where you really want to show personality, because you're trying to actually activate that element of element of sales. You're trying to increase conversion. That's what you want anyway. You're trying to increase the opportunity to make sales day in and day out. Number 7, you want to make posts shoppable. So basically your Instagram post must be shoppable. Okay, and this is one of those things you need to pay attention to. So when you're thinking about the best way to actually increase your Amazon sales using Instagram, you want to make sure that you are lowering the barrier to entry for people to purchase your products. Because what will happen here is that you will see an increase in the number of your Amazon sales that come from Instagram. The thing is that your post must be shoppable, because the bottom line, the efforts, the results of these efforts must be increased sales anyway. So one of the best ways to make your post shoppable is with the Instagram shopping feature. So this actually feature lets you tag products in your photos or your Instagram stories, and direct sales pathways remove barriers from people who want to purchase your product. Okay, and this is a great opportunity here. You can also try social signals with hashtags. This can be very helpful to you as well. One thing we have seen in our research is that hashtags are powerful on Instagram. Why? Because they actually make it easier for people to find your post. That's number one. They increase your visibility. Number two, they increase your followership. People actually are able to find you, and they love what they hear. They love what they see. They'll follow you right away, right? And this is important. Now, one thing I want to say here is that it only takes a few moments to research which hashtags are most famous for people in your industry. So once you have a sense of the hashtags and how they align with your product, include them in your post. You must do this. This is really important. And don't worry about whether you're getting a few views at the first on the first day. Doesn't matter. This is the marathon. This is a long-term game. You are in it to win it, right? So really, when you first start looking for the right hashtags to use, pay attention to what your competitors and influencers in your industry are doing. You might also want to take note of the hashtags your followers are regularly using. Remember, your product tags should be consistent with your brand and your voice. Those are really important things. If you're trying to be fun, make sure your hashtags are fun. If you're trying to be serious, make sure your hashtags are serious, and so on and so forth. Because if your followers start seeing some kind of content dichotomy, some content contradiction, this could be really difficult for you to grow, and this can actually stifle your growth on Instagram and by way of consequence, your Amazon sales. Before I close today's conversation, let me just give you a few pro tips. And you need to understand that Instagram has something called e-commerce analytics. And so you need to actually invest time, or have some of your team members invest time in analyzing your e-commerce analytics. In other words, you're doing all this work, right? You are telling a story, you are establishing partnerships, you are showing some personality, and so on and so forth. How do you know this is really working? How do you actually track those results? This is where Instagram e-commerce analytics come into play. So you really need to high performing sellers drive sales and profit by taking advantage of an essential feature available to them, e-commerce data. So this data fuels e-commerce analytics and allows them to create an in-depth seller dashboard, data visualizations, and reports. So for example, profit leaders use analytics tools to help them understand sales and social data. This is really great. And so they know how to drive traffic, optimize listings, manage inventory, and deliver exceptional value on product using product during special events like Prime Day, for example. So what I want to say here is what, boss, right now I want you to rethink your strategy. Are you tracking your Instagram marketing efforts? Are you seeing results on your Amazon sales? If yes, how much? Have you grown by 20%, 50%, 5%, 100%? What have you seen? And the other question is that once you have seen that growth, are you willing to do whatever it takes to actually grow even further? Because that's the thing. The thing is, you have to actually be in a position where you are constantly growing. Otherwise, you're just lethargic. This is really bad for your brand too. So have you thought about that? Have you thought about maybe actually doing some Instagram advertising too? Because this could be, if you're selling, let's say if you're selling high priced items on Amazon, and so basically a PPC campaign on Instagram could be really helpful in terms of drawing traffic back to your Amazon store. Because you know those items are worth $1,000 anyway. So even if you pay 50 cents to actually take care of those ads, if you get one or two persons to actually buy the ads for you, then you can actually just make money instantly. So this is really important. So you have to think about that. Thank you so much for your attention. I just want to quickly recap today's conversation here. I was just talking to you about how to boost Amazon sales using Instagram. And so number one, tell a story. Number two, establish partnerships with influencers. Number three, make full use of Instagram stories. Number four, always engage with your followers. Number five, use on-image shopping features to your advantage. Number six, you want to show some personality. Number seven, you want to make posts shoppable. Make posts shoppable. Okay, and I give you a few pro tips to close today's conversation. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.